It's Johnny K, and I mentioned in the summer that I was going to do a podcast. I remember that post, and I said, stay tuned for the Johnny K podcast. What am I going to talk about? No idea. But I remember waking up the next morning thinking, holy shit, did you really tell everyone that we were going to do a podcast? And I said it would start in September. It's September now. And all I have is my phone. So this is going to be the first official podcast on my iPhone in my office. And what the heck are we going to talk about? I have no idea. But when I started to think about it, I thought about when did I first start posting a lot online? And it has to be back, I think 2020, I came up with this brilliant way to lose weight. I thought if I told you and made you hold me accountable that I would lose the weight. Called it Weighing Wednesdays. And 52 weeks. I posted every week. 3 weeks I didn't lose weight, but the rest I either maintained or lost. And I called it Weighing Wednesdays. And that was started in October 2020 and ended September 2021. And my thinking was I was so frustrated with weight loss. In my mind, I had tried everything, every diet. I've tried the Atkins diet. I've tried fasting. I've tried all sorts of things, but this was it. Me telling you was going to hold me accountable, and I was going to be in good shape. And here's what happened. I did it. I lost about 101 pounds at the end. Went from about 345-ish to 244-ish, 245-ish. It was 100 pounds, 101.3 to be exact. And it was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess. And I guess the first official podcast of Johnny K is going to be Weighing Wednesdays on how not to lose weight. And it started off as of frustration, pushing 350. I was a shit brick house, and I just knew that something had to stop. Trouble sleeping. I have a CPAP. Doctor tells me if I lose weight, I won't need it anymore. Side note, lost the weight, still need it, still use it today. So that was a myth. But my health was in jeopardy, and this was my last resort. I thought if I told you that I was going to do something, I would do it. And what happened was I'd made a post previously, and I talked about my buddy Pete Padfield, a mentor of mine. He had Padfield's Pro Hardware, him and his wife Orma, and I wanted to be just like Pete because Pete does it now. We'll do it now. And I remember when I made that post, waking up the next day, and I was like, you know what, I'll just do that shit tomorrow. And I'm like, no, man, you told everyone that you do it now. So that's what you have to do. That's what you have to be. So from that time, I had this aha moment. I'm like, okay, if you can do it now because Pete told you to, and you told everyone online you were doing that, you could do the same thing to lose weight. So that's what I did. Next week, I tipped the scales. I posted a picture of it. It was like 344-ish or something like that. And I told everyone the story of Johnny K. I'm going to weigh myself every week. It's Weighing Wednesdays. My goal is to lose 100 pounds in 52 weeks. And the rest is history. Starts off okay when you're that big. It's easy to lose 20 pounds. I went from eating 5,000 calories to 3,500. 3,500 is a ton of calories, but you drop weight easy. But what happened was when we got to the stretch, to the halfway point, and in the middle of that, I'd lost my mom in April of that year, and my mom was always checking in. She loved social media. She loved Facebook, and she loved just reading comments. My mom would actually read like Donald Trump comments and people what they would say about him, and she would laugh. And she was just new to the internet, and she thought it was amazing. So she loved when I posted something, people would write, and then she'd read the comments, and she loved that stuff. So if I was like an hour late on a Wednesday, making a post. Like, she was texting me, calling me, hey, what's going on? Why haven't you posted? You told the people you were going to post. So I lost my mom in April, and didn't that give me more motivation to continue on with this? Inspired by my mom, I want to show her that I could do this. So instead of deciding maybe that Wayne Wednesdays could be put on hold, I put my foot down and I went after it. And I tell you what, the hardest part, like the halfway point, I could do. And a typical day or a week for me is, let's go to Wednesday. I get up in the morning, I'll exercise, I tip the scales, hooray, I've lost some weight, take a picture, I post it. And then as we were getting to the end, it became more difficult. And when I mean the end, I mean like the last 12 weeks. And it got really hard. And this is what a week would look like. I'd get up Wednesday, I'd exercise, I'd weigh in, and then Wednesday and Thursday were a free for all. And, you would think that I would know, I worked so hard all week to lose the weight, but I resorted to bad habits for Wednesday and Thursday. I was eating things I shouldn't have. And then all of a sudden I've gained 10 pounds. Now it's Friday, now it's Saturday. Sunday we got to buckle down and we got to make weight. So, I would gain 8, about the halfway point, lose 10, we're still good. But when we got down to crunch time, this is where things got really nuts with Wayne Wednesdays. Anyone close to me at the time, my partner Kathy, I think she thought I was crazy, to be honest with you. And she probably still thinks I'm a little crazy, but that's okay. When we got to the end, I just did everything to make weight. I was like an MMA fighter, trying to make weight. But you can't have it both. You can't want to be healthy half the time, eat healthy, and then eat like a jackass for 2 days and think that you can maintain that and call that healthy. Then post to everyone, hey, it's Johnny K. I lost 2.3 pounds. Woo, thinking I'm a hero. But it got to a point near the end that I got into this thing called fasting. Never knew it existed. I was introduced to it as a health measure, even before Wayne Wednesdays. It was more of a, hey, why don't you clean your body out? People fast all the time. This was a 60-hour fast that I got used to. And I did it. It was really hard, but, when you're coming off a fast, you're not supposed to hit a drive-through. You're supposed to eat a salad, eat healthy, and just maintain that good, healthy eating. But I would introduce the fast into my Weigh-In Wednesdays. So that would start, weigh myself Wednesday, eat like a champ Wednesday, Thursday, slow down a bit Friday, Saturday, all of a sudden Sunday night, I'm buckling down for a 60-hour fast, right? I don't eat anything, not a thing. Drink a tea, and until I weigh in Wednesday morning. And I had a system that I would weigh in, I would gain 10, lose 12. And I did that for the last 12 weeks. And that was insane. And you should never put a timeline on your weight loss. I've been this way my whole life. I've been big. And, I remember reading a book or something like that, and it talked about, when did you realize for the first time that you were big? And I thought about it, and I should say big, fat, big chunky guy. I was in grade 3, and we were doing an exercise, and in the class we were converting pounds into kilograms, and all of a sudden I'm weighing more than my grade 3 teacher who was pregnant. And I was like, holy shit. Kids were kind of like noticing that. And I didn't think I was fat up until that point. So we have a start point, and then now it's been my whole life of being big, loving sports, playing hockey, playing baseball, losing weight, playing more sports, we could get into the whole mental health aspect of this, but what drew me to do this crazy thing, Weigh-In Wednesdays, I think I had just had enough, and I wanted just to be healthy. It's funny when you say healthy. How can you be healthy when you're fasting? But in my brain, I thought I was. So near the end, it was hard. Work out for 3 hours a day. Normal people don't work out for 3 hours a day. I'd get up on Wednesday morning. I'd work out. I'd put garbage bags on. Yeah, yeah. I never thought that was like my biggest kept secret. I wouldn't tell people, but I had a buddy actually that played some high end sports, and he would come home sometimes, and then before he went back, his coaches would always make him weigh in, and I stole that idea from him. So I would bag up. I would do everything. Bags would hang in the laundry room. I'm sure if people came over, it'd be like, what the hell are those bags there for? But I'm sure they knew. But I would do everything to make weight. And officially, it was like late September. I remember I went to the corner store. I bought the Toronto Star, and it had the exact date, Wednesday, September, whatever it was, 2021. And I took the picture with the newspaper, and that was it. Johnny K did it. On the last week, week 52, when I woke up and I worked out for about an hour and a half, and I was still a pound short. And I was like, holy shit. So I worked out for another hour and a half. I just wanted it to be over. Weighed myself, made the mark, made the post, whole bunch of comments, good for you, way to go. But I always knew inside my head, and I'd get a few comments like, it's great you're losing the weight, John, but the key is to keep it off. And I'm like, I got this, right? I'm a healthy eater now. I would make a bullshit post on how I'm a healthy eater now, and, I'm playing men's rec hockey, and I'm flying around. I think I got a shot at the Thundercats again. No, I was just joking about that. But you feel good, especially with sports. But I bet you I was that weight for one day. One day. Obviously, I don't want to weigh myself after that. Don't want to come off the high, but I probably gained 20 pounds back in 2 months, easy. And then slowly, it started to come back on. And the whole thing now is, for 52 weeks, I'm infatuated with the scale. You wake up, look at the scale. Weighed myself so much, my footprints are on it. And that was it. And I finally got sick of that scale. What it would say would dictate how the rest of my day would go. So I decided probably maybe like 2 months ago, time to pitch the scale. And it was advice from a buddy. And, he goes, what's with the scale? Actually, we worked together, and I was kind of like in a pissy mood, or I just wasn't myself. And we start talking, what's up? And I said, you know what? I've been doing a lot of good things, working out, lifting weights, eating healthy. And then I jumped on the scale, and it says I gained 4 pounds. How's that possible? But, when you really think about it, you realize how it is possible. But having the scale dictate my day, those days were numbered. And he gave me the advice, why do you even have the scale? How about you just gauge it from how you feel? And I've always been afraid of the how you feel part, because any time in the past that I thought I could be heroic and just pitch the scale, I would just gain 30 pounds instantly. And I would weigh myself after a 2-month break, and where did that come from? And all of a sudden, we got to go on a diet, we got to get paper, we got to write down what we eat. MyFitnessPal was the new great thing. We record anything, it's crazy. You put in your calories, you're showing your friends, look at me. But, that turned out for me to be all just smoke and mirrors. It's all about me, and it's all about knowing what's right. And it took a while, but my first big step was to get rid of the scale. And then the next big one was just wanting to be. And I know that sounds weird, but when I decided not to weigh myself, I kind of just like the stress of not having to get up every morning, my days felt better. And as for like healthy eating, I know 80-20 is the magic number. In some people's opinion, I'm probably rocking a 75-25. And I'm okay with that. I do something exercise-wise 5 out of 7 days. And it's not like running on the spot, Jane Fonda aerobic. It could be walking through the conservation area. It could be playing pickleball, walking around my pool. I want to say swimming in my pool, but I walk around it. And I'm doing those small things, telling myself just to be. And I think that's what I didn't know about during Wayne Wednesdays. It was so important for me to lose the 100 pounds in 52 weeks because I told you I would do it. And that's where I've been learning more about willpower. I grow up my whole life and, do you see so-and-so? He has willpower. Do you see her? She has willpower. And what I've learned, for me anyways, willpower will kill you. Willpower will make you do stupid things. Willpower will make you put garbage bags on and run on the treadmill or walk on the treadmill. Willpower will make you go on your Facebook and tell all your friends that I want you to hold me accountable because this is the last straw. And that's what willpower does. And what I'm learning more about that now is forget the power part. It's about the will. And through the journey for Wayne Wednesdays, I felt proud for a little bit, people coming up to me, good for you. But as a couple years pass and I reflect, and I've made a couple posts about it on how not to lose weight, ask Johnny K. And, calling your shot like that and having your friends hold you accountable is the wrong way. I would do that all the time. I would be playing senior hockey. One time I threw $300 in an envelope and gave it to my captain. And I said, listen, I'm going to weigh in on this date. And if I'm not this weight, you can keep the money. Because it got to that extreme that that's all I think about, losing weight, health, fitness. But then I can't stop eating. It's a mental health thing that I'm working on still. But I got the money back. Yeah, but that was same thing. 3 or 4 days of garbage bags. And hey, you want to come out tonight? No, I gotta ride the elliptical for 6 hours because I told Sudi that I was gonna lose the weight, and he has got the envelope, right? So, anyways, that's the 52 weeks, and it's a lot to do. Mental health has a lot to do with it. And I know that's probably a whole new episode, but I wanted to start off my podcast journey. I wanted to start off with something personal. And the Wayne Wednesdays was my first kind of like, here I am, I'm vulnerable, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 52 weeks. And everyone's happy. I would do like 5 or 6 takes on a post. Wayne Wednesday, week 32, blah, 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 where, it was all too perfect. And if you want to lose weight, it has to come from you. And it can't be because maybe someone suggests you to lose weight or do that. It has to come from you. And the reason why I bring that up is people can tell you or give you their opinions, but until you decide one day that you want to do something, that's the only time. But I think we just have to be. And I know I've mentioned that before. I'm not sure if I'm just rambling here, but I think me being right now is the best I've ever felt in my life. I'm 49 years old, and I'm being. And I don't stress anymore going to a party or going to Darien Lake with the family, and we're going to eat chips all weekend and have fun. I do that because I know that it's just a day. The next day, you're going to buckle down. Where will comes in is will not let you go back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and continue to eat like that. Or that's what it does for me. So, yeah, that's 52 weeks, lost 100 plus pounds, 101 something, Gained most of it back. I'm going to say 65, 70 pounds, but I feel great. I have lots of energy. I love watching my kids play sports. I love my job. I love what I do. And this is just where social media almost got the better of me. If I would just not mention Wayne Wednesdays ever again and to tell you it was a full-blown success, and I'd be lying through my teeth. Total bullshit. You want to lose weight, talk to a professional. If you have any questions for me, you can send me a DM or a message. I'm not a professional, but I could tell you, here's a couple books I read. That's it. But, I have a counselor, Kent. He's a beauty. He's been listening to me for 5 years. We've talked about weight. I have friends, and it's all about just one day at a time. And probably my favorite example, and I'll end it off with this, is when you're on a weight loss journey or you're trying to eat healthy, and one night you're out with the boys and you're eating chicken wings and fries, and it turns out to be a day or two of this, you don't stop. You remember what you're here, why you're here, and why you're doing it, and you just carry on the next day. It's this example of like having a car and getting a flat tire. To quit would be to take my knife and to flatten the other three. That's what I always done. Now I get a flat, I change it, and I carry on. So I'm Johnny K. Hope you enjoyed my first podcast. Really nervous about it, but I just wanted to connect with everyone, say hello, and we're going to try this monthly. So on the books for next month, I'm going to talk about the adventures of Johnny K within the OHA. A couple months back, my good friend Doug Kennedy, who we sadly lost just a couple weeks ago here to cancer. He had a battle there, and he had asked me to MC the AGM in Kincardine, and it was a great event. And I'm going to talk to you about all the years that I've been in the OHA, a couple Duger stories, and that's what you can look for to the next podcast. Thanks for listening. Cheers.